Tonight, remembering D-Day. 77 years ago Sunday, the Allies turned the tide against Axis forces in World War II.
Veterans and military officials at the American Cemetery in France paid tribute Sunday to the more than 150,000 Allied troops who landed on the beaches of Normandy to fight for freedom. Over 4,000 American, Canadian, and UK troops lost their lives, many of them while storming the beaches in the largest amphibious military operation in world history. Allied forces braved rough weather and fierce gunfire. CBN News international news director and senior international correspondent Gary Lane spoke with President Ronald Reagan's son, Michael Reagan, about the importance of marking this day in history.
Why is it important that we remember them and honor their sacrifice?
It's important that we remember it. It's important that we read our history and know our history and know the heroes that they were, that bailed out of planes, over Normandy. It's great to know the history and know the stories of these men that bailed out of these planes and ended up saving the world. If we don't remember history and study history, then we're going to repeat it. And that's proven time and time again through our history.
And I had the privilege of reporting from Washington as CBN News national security correspondent during your father's presidency. And on June 6, 1984, he became the first U.S. president to visit Omaha Beach, Normandy, for D-Day ceremonies. He gave two historic speeches that day talking about things that are worth dying for: freedom, democracy. And he said the troops who stormed those beaches were liberators, not conquerors. Let's listen to a short clip from the speech he gave at the cemetery.
This land is secure. We are free. These things are worth fighting and dying for. We will always remember. We will always be proud. We will always be prepared, so we may be always free.
So how concerned are you, Michael, that young Americans, I'm thinking millennials and Gen Zers, don't really know about their sacrifice, the price that many paid for our freedom? After all, I know these veterans will pass. Will we lose the memory of what happened on D-Day? Are we losing the Judeo-Christian values of sacrifice and service? What do you think?
If we don't instill it in our children, we can't expect someone else to do that. I was playing golf with a 25-year-old young man before I raised that flag at Normandy. I was in L.A. playing golf, and I told him what I was ready to do. And he was 25 years old, had no idea why there was even an American cemetery at Normandy. And I thought, he's really the normal, not the abnormal. And I said to him at the 18th hole, I said, did you think D-Day is when your report card came home? He had no idea. I go to France, they love America. All those countries that were freed by American soldiers, and are still being freed, love America. The problem is Americans forgot to love America.
What else can be done? What do we need to do?
Say thank you every single day. Every time you see a vet, no matter what war, thank them. And don't thank them 3 days a year. Thank them every day of every single year. You see when you see a vet at breakfast or at lunch or at dinner, having dinner, buy him a meal, pay for it. You see a police officer, a fireman, anybody who's serving and willing to give their life for you and me to have freedoms and to be safe. The little things that you can do to say thank you very much for what you are willing to do, the love that you have for my city, my state, my country. I want to thank you for it.
And we want to thank you, Michael Reagan, political consultant, speaker, author, and son of President Ronald Reagan. We appreciate you, Michael. Thank you for joining us and for keeping your father's legacy and the legacy of those D-Day veterans alive. We appreciate it.
Thank you.